we're seeing at the window. But it's definitely obvious who they're betting. I mean, bettors are on the Warriors here in ticket count, in money. So despite the line where it is, it's still been pretty one-sided right now.
You know, this is, and I think that the consensus out there among those who follow this kind of stuff is that this is a pros versus Joe's battleground. I'm not sure it is. I think there was some early syndicate money that came in Toronto, but has that continued to flow, or is that just not the case, and the line's just holding because you don't want any more on that side?
Yeah, it's been, early on it was kind of a pros versus Joe's field. Now it's just been pretty much one-sided Golden State,
sure.
Not much on the other end there. And same with the series price. Most of, if not all the action we've been receiving today has been on the Warriors on the series price, ticket count, and money.
I'm curious about this because we have kind of an unusual situation here where the betting lines are out for the series on Golden State and Toronto, but you've also got two guys, individuals, who at this point would be clear favorites to win the Most Valuable Player award if their team wins. So are you also, as a correlation, getting a lot of action on Curry and Kawhi Leonard as MVP and the individual betting?
Not as much there. Just believe it or not, the props are seeing betting with those two more so than the MVP. So we're seeing a lot of action on individual props on those players because, of course, if they're going to win an MVP, they're going to have to do well in individual games. So I think that's how bettors have been approaching, at least thus far.
My thought was that if I'm going to – I didn't bet anything. Okay, I have no action at all on the Warriors and Raptors, so this is just speaking off the top of my head. But if I were going to get involved in the series, I would want to parlay Warriors with Curry and Raptors with Leonard because I think – if you win one, you're going to win the other in all likelihood.
Absolutely. It goes hand in hand. You couldn't get a better correlation than what you just described, Dave.
Yeah, so that's the way. For those who are interested, I think that's the way to approach it. And for those who say, oh, you should never parlay, yeah, there's sometimes when it probably pays. I think mathematically, you're actually better off doing a parlay like that than you are betting it individually.
Yeah.
Because they're correlated.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
It's hard to win the MVP on a losing team. I can't remember the last time it's happened. I'm sure it has in the past 50 years, but it's a chance worth taking.
That was a sideways jab at somebody who's got a sports betting book out that said you should never bet parlays. They're sucker bets, and I'm sorry, but if you have correlated parlays, those aren't sucker bets. They're actually good bets. So there are no blanket assessments that hold true. Let's take a look at the NHL because we now have a wide-open series. I think, my opinion included, I thought the Bruins might have an easy time after winning Game 1 against the Blues, but St. Louis comes back last night. So what has that done to the numbers for Game 3 and for the adjusted series?
Well, as far as Game 3, it's been kind of slow. As far as the action, it's been two-way action, but nothing like we saw last night. That'll pick up again closer to the first. And the series price came down. It's almost a little below what the opening game price was. So that's where we're right now. But right now, most of the action's still been on the Bruins to win the series. So I anticipate that to be in Game 3 because obviously this is a pivotal game. So if they're going to be betting the Bruins to win the series, good chance that we'll be seeing a lot of Bruins money come the first.
Will, a Joe Public question. Now that the Knights are in the second year and we know that the NHL got added betting exposure, can you compare Game 1 of the NBA to Game 1 of the NHL as far as volume? Which was more?
Game 1, I mean, up till now,
yes,
right? Yeah. Way more in the NBA. As far as from last year?
Total handle from this year Game 1 NBA to this year's NHL Game 1.
This year's NBA to this year's NHL Game 1, it blows it away thus far on the NBA. I mean, it's, 3 times more right now, and it could go as much as maybe 4 or 5 times more handle with everything, too. Not just, series price and the props.
All right, let me do this comparison. NHL as opposed to this huge soccer game on Saturday between Tottenham and Liverpool. I'm going to say the soccer gets more action.
Yeah, it's a good chance. We're seeing a lot on that game. I was kind of surprised, but I think the time that the game starts is a factor there. Right now, we are seeing great two-way action. It's a three-way line, but here's the kicker. No pun intended, obviously. Yeah, right now, very little action has been on the draw. Mostly bettors have been leaning towards the side. No one wants to bet for a tie game or go into extra time, into penalty kicks. So that's nothing new there. But we do have a to raise the trophy option where you don't have to deal with any of that. Whoever ends up winning this thing, no matter how they do it, you can bet that way one way or the other, and that's where we're seeing majority action come in, and has been on Liverpool, and not surprised there.
Okay, good stuff. What time is that game, by the way?
It is at noon.
No, I thought it was something like 3 in the morning or something like that.
No, they got it.
Noon's a good time.
They got it down well, just like the I believe the under 20 is going on right now too, the under 20 World Cup. So that their times are similar. So and it's in the same time zones.
Let's go behind the counter on tonight's Major League Baseball. There's a good number of games actually for Thursday night in baseball. We'll start with the Brewers and Pirates. What's happening there?
Yeah, majority of the money has been on the Brewers, and I'm not surprised with this here. They've owned the Pirates in Pittsburgh in the last 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So that's what bettors are on Milwaukee right now.
We talked about the Dodgers comeback earlier, and are you getting anyone to bet the Mets tonight?
Not right now, and they're not really betting the Dodgers either. It's kind of been slow in this game. I think the price is a little high for Dodger bettors, and the Mets have left the bitter taste in the bettors' mouths from yesterday. That was brutal, losing an 8-3 lead. I expect to see some parlay money come in on the Dodgers as we get closer to, certainly closer to the NBA Finals.
I would assume that was a good result for the house last night because the Dodgers winning by 1 run. That knocks out all the runs line bettors, and that's usually a good thing for the house because the runs line bettors usually bet the home team. Twins and Rays matching up. We talked about this game in the 4-4. This is a really good matchup. First place Twins with Martin Perez. The Rays with the amazing Charlie Morton. Tampa's the favorite. What's happening at the windows?
Yeah, this is the game of the night. Let's be honest. This is could be a playoff preview. The Rays right now seeing the majority of the action. Their bettors are on Morton, and this number's moved about 10-15 cents.
Moving to the Royals and Rangers, Mike Miners pitching very well for Texas of late. And Texas, we're not used to seeing Texas in this 150, 160 range. Are people backing them?
Yeah, they are. I think this is more of an anti-Kansas City play here. We've only taken, I can count on one hand how many tickets we've taken on KC. Wow. And I'm shocked they even took that much. So right now it's been all Rangers here and Mike Minor.
And the White Sox, who's just swept the Royals, they'll stay at home to face the Indians. Carlos Carrasco's off a couple of really shaky starts for Cleveland. Are bettors paying attention to that and maybe going for the home dog, or do they like the chalk?
They like the chalk here. All the bettors are just ignoring the White Sox and ex-Yankee reject Manny Benuelos, and he's been terrible this year, so awful. I'm not surprised at this at all. I don't expect to see any very little White Sox money come game time, even though they've been playing very well, way above projections, and the Indians have been struggling mightily.
They have, but Manny Benuelos' his best stretch of pitching this year was when he was on the injured list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Well, beware if you're betting the Angels tonight because Pena's on the mound, and that means sometimes he starts and sometimes they put a starter in for him. You never really know. Going against Kikuchi, tell us what's the late game getting action on the LA Angels?
Yeah, guys, we were just talking about this game, how the Angels continue to change pitchers almost, it seems like, on a daily basis. I guess they'd have no idea how to do a bullpen game or they have bad luck with injuries. But right now it's been slightly more money coming in on Seattle, which Kikuchi, who's pitched pretty well this year. I think that's why the bettors are on them there.
Yeah. They're favored, right?
The $1.10.
I know, but I mean, they're 11-33, and they're favored. I'm throwing out the 13-2. They're 11-33 since then. They can't catch anything. D. Gordon's still out. The Healy's out. Not with my money. I mean, Seattle might very well win the baseball game, but nope. Not going to do it. Again, let's talk about the games that are up in college football because you guys put up a lot of games. I think it's 84. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact number right now. I lost track at about 60.
Okay. If you've done your early college football homework and you have some opinions and you've got the app in front of you, it's perfect. I mean, you can do it in a sportsbook, obviously, but the easiest thing is to just open the app and start scrolling through the lines, and if you find something that piques your interest, grab it now. This is the way the pros do it. It's fun to be there at the books, no question about that. And once the games begin, it's even more fun. But if you're an early bettor, the app is the only way to go.
you have to have the app to be betting college football right now. You can't see the numbers on any screen anywhere. You have to go to a sports book. If you don't have the app, go to one of our sports books. Of course, you have the app downloaded and sign up for an account and pick up one of our packets that has every college football game they're offering, and make sure you have all your betting numbers, and then you go to the app and pick out the games that you feel that you want to bet, and you bet it that way, because it's the only way you can do it.
And let's not forget about the NFL. I mean, weeks 1 through 16 are up and available. Again, just an incredible. I started looking at situations. Atlanta doesn't have any back-to-back road games this year. And I think Philadelphia is the only team that plays 3 straight road games. So you start looking at situations like that, taking a look at where the line is. You can bet it now, and, hey, if you don't like it, middle it back later in the season. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point about middling games, and certainly having having the app or multiple apps, and that's an interesting point. I never knew about that with the Falcons not having back-to-back road games, and the Eagles having 3 in a row. It's I guess that's somewhat punishment for being so good in the last few years. But you definitely need the app, and NFL betting has been picking up. It seems like it's correlating with the college football games that we release. So you have to have the app. You got MLB going on. Really just been a great time, the MLB. I mean, comebacks all over the place. So you need the app to have in-game wagering to be a part of those comebacks and get your plus 500s, your plus 1,000s in-game. You got to have it. And, Will, if you have to maybe give out a recommendation as to where people should go watch Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series tonight, how about an idea? Definitely go to the Cosmopolitan. We have 350 reservable seats there, so that's the place to go and bet the games and watch the games and have an app as well, so you don't have to leave your seat just for food. Well, that's a good reason to get up. And they might even bring it to your seat. Who knows? Yeah. Right? Tip the server a little bit. Yeah, sure, we'll bring it right over to you. No problem. Good stuff, Will. We appreciate it, man. Oh, my pleasure, guys. Will Bernanke does a great job. And you can follow Will on Twitter at The Moneyline Guy for more information on a regular basis. When we come back, we'll get our Joe's Angle of the Day, and we'll talk about, we just talked about college football and some games being up. We'll talk about some free college football information, some really good content that's available right now.
The Las Vegas Sports Line.
I'm with Cliff Miller from MJ Christensen, and I want to talk about pre-owned Rolexes.
We can locate it. We can bring it in. We can save you money. So it behooves you to come by MJ today and look at some of the most wonderful pre-owned Rolexes and all other brands that you can imagine and save money.
And it comes with the pedigree because you've got the papers.
We've got the box. We've got the papers. We've got a 1-year warranty. You can't beat these deals.
MJ Christensen, located at Boca Park. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive offers.
Hey, it's Steve Cofield. Make plans to join me, Adam Hill, and the rest of the Cofield & Company crew this Friday as we kick off the weekend at Crazy Horse 3. No better way to do it. Free admission, open bar. That's right, open bar for 3 hours. $5 food and plenty of prizes. Yep, it's an open bar. During Cofield & Company, plus the guy who brings the biggest crew will receive $100 in diamond dollars from Crazy Horse 3. Happy Hour Fridays, 3 o'clock. Crazy Horse 3 on Russell across from the new Raiders Stadium with ESPN Las Vegas.
Hey, it's Dave Cokin with John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy. So, car wrecks, very frequent in Las Vegas. Sometimes serious injuries, some not so serious, but in a lot of cases, there has to be some kind of physical therapy after the accident. Talk about that.
Yes, Dave. We as physical therapists can assess all injuries after a car accident. Sometimes we're the first person to see a patient where we can identify the type of injuries the patient has. We will get them moving better, help reduce their pain, and we also work in conjunction with multiple physicians so these patients can be given appropriate medications to help with their pain, muscle spasms, and swelling. We can also provide any postoperative treatment in case these patients ever need surgery on their spine, their shoulders, and their knees.
LionsPTLV.com, 702-476-0222.
Contractor license number 0079414, 0079415.
My name is Patrick, and I've been an AC technician for 12 years. A few months ago, I was working for a company whose policy was to do things the easy way, because it's quicker and you can undercut everyone's prices. So I was cleaning a customer's outside coils and feeling guilty about it because I could see plain as day that the baked-on plaque on those coils needed to be removed if the unit was ever going to start working right. And just then, a Gettle ad came on the radio, and Ken Goodrich started talking about cleaning coils.
The right way, not the easy way.
So I finished the job, gave notice to my boss, and drove over to meet Sadie to see if she liked me. Now, Sadie is a fine Wheaton Terrier, let me tell you. Ken Goodrich hired me, and I've never been happier. And guess what? He pays better, too. Gettle needs 150 more technicians who